Don't do it.
What the heck, B? You just made everything.
I was 3 feet from the hole.
For today's vlog, we have a very special treat. During my trip here in the US, I did not think that I would be able to visit the town that I went to college to, Boise, Idaho. But fortunately, I somehow made my way here even though it was only for a couple days. It felt so good to be back. So today, welcome to Terrace Lakes here in Idaho. So Terrace Lakes is a golf course that I've actually never played at, but is where my former assistant coach now works. Even though I really wanted to show you guys the courses that we played at and practiced at during my time in Boise, I felt like it was way more important just to play a round of golf with my former assistant coach and just have fun out here in Boise. I literally only had one full day here, so I was so glad that I was able to do this and play a round of golf with him. And since this is a little bit nostalgic for me, I also thought I would just make a classic Gen vlog. The vlogs that I think many of you guys first started watching, which is just a normal course vlog going through my round here at Terrace Lake. So I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more golf with Jen. So after my tee shot, I had 94 yards to the green. It was playing about 89 yards. As we are kind of in the mountains, so the air is a little bit lighter and it is a little bit downhill. So I was intending on hitting my 52-degree wedge. I did not have a great lie, but I assumed that we would just play it as it lies. And my assistant coach didn't want to tell me, but they usually play it preferred lies here because there are a lot of animal marks on the course. So because of my wonderful lie, I hit a chunkaroony. Oh, go. Oh my god. Beauty. Do the greens bite over here?
Yeah, but this one slopes away from me. Pretty good. Take your time.
Hold your finish. So we managed to save par on the first hole, so let's move on to the second hole. The second hole is a par 4, little downhill dog leg right. I am going with the driver here and my plan was to kind of aim towards those left trees and hit a little bit of a cut because I know that if I do that and I hit a cut, those left trees are out of play, and with a dog leg right hole, there is going to be more space down the right side than the left side anyway, and it will also likely give me a better angle into the green.
Good shot. You guys are boring.
Where is it?
Right in the middle of the fairway.
Something just cracked. So I hit a pretty good tee shot which left me about 111 yards to the pin. It was playing about 103 yards, which is about the carry distance of my 48-degree wedge. This green is a little bit of a turtleback, so you did not want to miss it down the right side. Depending on what club you're hitting, that is going to change. If you're hitting a 6-iron into this green, you definitely want to make sure that you either leave it short or you leave it a little bit left. But as I said, I'm hitting a short wedge, so I'm pretty much just going straight at the pin for this one. I hit a good approach shot which left me about a 9-footer for birdie. Even though it does look like I'm short of the pin and it is putting uphill, it is actually putting downhill because as you can see behind, the mountains are actually going downhill and away from me. So it is important on mountain courses just to pay attention to the mountains around you because they will definitely affect your putts and they can even affect your approach shots and how much they might spin or not spin depending on where the mountains are. Hole 3 is a dogleg left par 5. For this par 5 tee shot, I could definitely reach those trees down the right side. However, although it might look tempting to cut the corner on the left side, it is a lot further than it looks. So my aim was kind of to go for the taller trees in the center of the fairway. So technically it's about center left of the fairway, close to the shadows of the left trees. It's important on holes like this to pick a good aim and not try to overcut yourself, especially on par 5s when we get a little bit more greedy, especially because in the back of our mind on a 468-yard par 5, we're thinking more about the approach shot than the actual tee shot, which is a mistake that a lot of people make, because if you don't choose a good target and don't hit a good tee shot, you are not going to be able to get on the green into anyway. So make sure you focus on choosing a good target off the tee before you even think about what you're going to be doing for your second shot. After my tee shot, I had 237 yards to the green. Although it was technically reachable, I would have had to cut the corner and also hit a shot that is high enough to carry those trees. And if I do not hit it solid, there is a chance that I was going to get myself stuck in those trees. So I did not really find that it was beneficial for me to hit that shot. So I decided to go with a high read instead and just play the hole as it's meant to be without cutting any corners this time. So you might not have had the best view in the previous shot of what this green looks like and what the surrounding area looks like, but as you can see here, the trees are pretty high and the green is not very big. So unless you were confident enough that you were going to put yourself in a good position, getting behind those trees was definitely a risk that I did not feel was worth taking. And either way, it's not a long par 5, so I feel like this is a good 3-shot par 5 unless you have something like an iron into the green, or you know that you're going to be able to hit it over so that you're not blocked by any of these trees that are surrounding the front area of the green. Don't go there.
Nice.
No. Stay.
You want me to hold it?
So this is a lesson that when this happens, please tee it up and don't be lazy, because chances are the ground conditions are not very good and that's why the ball is rolling around. So yeah, this is your daily reminder to not be lazy when playing golf.
Hang on.
Oh crap.
That'll be a fun one.
That's too far. Is this fast, yeah?
Yeah, it's
Go
hard to
fast?
say because they're weird, right? But it's downhill. Pretty damn good. Nice.
Try, let's block it.
I'm gonna watch it.
Don't stand right in front of my camera.
Hole 5 is a pretty short par 4. It is downhill dogleg right. As you can see, there are trees blocking down the right side. I decided to go with a 5-wood here because even though I knew that it was pretty far to the water, there was a water hazard out there and I knew that my 5-wood was not going to reach it and I could probably even hit a driver. However, I felt like there really wasn't any reason to hit a driver. And as I said, it's not a long hole, so I was just playing for positioning and trying to get myself within the 100 to 120 yard distance for my approach shot into the green, and that's why I decided to go with a 5-wood. I hit the 5-wood pretty straight and it didn't fade, so I ended up being just in the left rough. Two factors to consider here: the ball was below my feet, which tends to push the ball a little bit right, but it's also in the rough, which tends to pull the ball a little bit left. So it was kind of trying to balance between what I thought it was going to do. I felt like the rough might not pull it that much, so I ended up going pretty straight and just a little bit left of the pin just to compensate for the downhill lie. But the rough did end up pulling it a lot more than I thought it was going to. The result, however, wasn't that bad. I'm just a little bit short and a little bit left of the green, but the pin is in front today, so because of that I had a pretty easy putt just off the green. Nothing much to it, just had to make sure that I got through this sandy patch in front of me, and then I was pretty sure that the ball was going to roll out pretty easily, as if I was just putting from the green.
Yeah,
There you go.
right, rough.
Right side.
Alright.
So did not have the most solid tee shot, but still in play, just in the rough of the right side. As you can see, this entire fairway and the entire green slopes right, so the intention here is definitely number one, just to get it on the green. The pin is tucked right as well, so there's really no point trying to go for that pin and resulting in me having to chip from the right side. Hitting out of the rough was actually going to be a little bit in my favor, because if anything, it was going to go a little bit more left.
Way not enough, right?
Moving on to hole 7, which is the complete opposite of the previous hole. The previous hole everything bounced right, on this hole everything bounces left. So this is not a long hole again, only 319 yards. Like I said before, I've never played this course. If I had played this course, I do not think that I would actually tee off with a driver, just because of the position that I'm going to be in, and the area that my driver ended up being and reaching was just not the most ideal position, as you will see later. However, obviously when you play a new course, you don't know things like this. But just a note that this is not necessarily a driver hole. Everything just kind of kicks left, and there's a huge rough in the center of the fairway. So if you do not hit it right enough to hit the slope on the right side, you're going to end up right in the center, which is exactly where the rough is. So as I mentioned just now, the position that I ended up being in is not only not great, it's also made more awkward just because it's pretty short. So from here I was hitting a 58-degree wedge. If I was hitting a full, like for instance a 9-iron, it would have been much easier to get out of this rough. But hitting a 58-degree wedge out of a rough with the ball above your feet is not exactly the best lie to be in. So like I said before, I would definitely not hit a driver here again. There's nothing worse than hitting a good shot in the center of the fairway and not being rewarded and being punished instead. So like I said, just a very awkward shot. So easy for the club to go underneath the ball, which is exactly what happened. So from hitting a good tee shot, I ended up leaving myself in an awkward position, not only once but twice, because now I have a short-sighted chip. Obviously, that was not my intention, and we can't always plan our way around a golf course that we don't know. This is something that I will definitely take note for next time if I come back and play here again. Just always remember, whatever you hit off the tee box, make sure if you hit a good shot, you're not going to be punished. That's obviously harder to do on a course that you're not familiar with. But just make sure you don't make the same mistake twice.
Oh, so slow.
Very uphill. See, these are elk tracks. Look at what they do. Imagine if this was a green.
Oh, okay.
Look how deep this is.
That's not that
Look
big,
at that.
Oh, God.
That whole green right there was completely covered front to back like that 2 weeks ago Saturday when I had a tournament.
Hole 8 is a par 5 and kind of another weird tee shot. I knew I did not have the height to be able to carry those trees on the right, and because of that, the actual best shot for me to hit would have actually been to go down the left fairway because it was wide open over there. My plan here was to hit a fade shot and just try to get it around the trees.
Elk tracks.
So again, hit a good shot, just did not end up in a good position. Like I said, I tried to cut it and I just ended up running out of fairway. From here, I was really trying to just do something dumb. I just pulled out a 5-wood because I thought, okay, my 5-wood would be able to go high enough to go past those trees, but I'm also pretty deep in the rough. This is not a shot that I would normally hit in this situation, but since we're just out here having fun, I decided to just go with it.
It's fine.
So got lucky there, ended up not being blocked by any trees. I am in the rough, but it is just a short little chip, so it wasn't that bad of a result considering the shot that I made. Like I said, it's not a shot that I would normally hit, just hit it out of fun. And every now and then, you know, you just gotta have fun. Golf is meant to be fun, so we don't always have to hit the shot that we think is the perfect shot. Sometimes if you think a shot seems interesting, or it seems fun, or it seems like you want to try it, just do it. What's the worst that could happen? So we've reached hole 9, which is a par 3. It's 161 yards. It's definitely playing uphill and it's all carry. You definitely don't want to really be too short because there is a chance that you're going to come all the way back down. I'm hitting a 5-iron here, just a regular 5-iron. And I have been having a little bit of trouble with my 5-iron and it just kind of looks a little bit odd to me.
Hey, this is a great hole for you to try a 5-iron.
Did you hit that solid?
Yeah. It looks weird though, right?
Sometimes things can happen, especially with the rate that I travel and I bring my golf bag with me everywhere. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I just gotta see if it's a condition thing or if there's actually something wrong with the club. It just has not been carrying as far as it should. So it's important to pay attention as well. Sometimes your club can definitely bend, especially if you go through different weather conditions, if you're going from heat to cold. So just make sure that you pay attention. I know that we often make the excuse that it's our clubs, but sometimes it really could be the club. So just make sure that you always pay attention. Every now and then go get your lofts checked, your lie checked, your angles checked, and also obviously make sure that you have good grips and a good shaft for you because all of that is equally as important.
Where have you been, locked up in your apartment?
Yep.